I thought I would do something different. Instead of doing a traditional artist talk, I'm going to do a demonstration of what I call mirror drawing. And you might have seen the video that I posted online. Some of you may have seen it, maybe you may not. And I don't know if it's about you, but when I see a TV show, like it's an advertisement for a TV show, and they show you the scene, and you watch the show, and you have the scene come at the end, and you're like waiting for it. Yeah, I hate that. So I'm just gonna get into drawing and show you how it's, and then make comments as I take breaks in the process. So what I start with these is just a couple of. It really helps to have the things match each other. It really does help. As much symmetry as possible, it really does help. So I'm using very pretty hard charcoal pencils that don't make very thick lines. So that's part of the gesture part of the drawing. So, all right. The other thing that I've done to prepare is I've drawn a center line down the piece, which just helps me keep track of them. So. All right. That is the end of stage one. So you're probably wondering, maybe you're wondering or not, did I just wake up one day and decide I was going to try to draw with both hands at the same time? And the short answer is actually yes. I did. But the point of how I got to yes took a little while, and the journey is a little unusual. About 30 years ago, I was watching a David Letterman episode, and there was a person that he brought on for Stupid Human Tricks. They used to do on the show. The older people here might remember that show, that stuff. And the guy could actually write correctly with one hand, and he could write mirror with the other. So he would sign his name, do other kinds of writing with that. And I put that in my mind and thought, well, that's really cool. A little weird little trick. I don't know why I could imagine remembering that. And I did, and I forgot it. And it's okay if you forget it too, because I'll bring it back up again later on. So fast forward to last summer. I had a cyst on my finger, and it was growing, and I had to have it taken off. And they basically splinted my 3 fingers together, and I couldn't paint. They said, don't get it dirty, don't get it wet. So don't get it dirty, but it eliminates painting altogether. This painting's pretty dirty. So I decided I was going to try to draw with my left hand. And I'd done it at school, and I'd practiced with it before, and I thought, what do I got to lose? I'm going crazy otherwise. So I did, and I was pretty successful. The 3 drawings that are in the show, they're called offhand comments, and the reason why they're called offhand comments is because they were done with my offhand. And then I thought, then that David Letterman episode came up, so I got the thing off my hand, and I thought, if I'm ever going to try to do this would be the time to try it, because I've got practicing on the left hand, because a lot of what this is about is just practice. So here's the end of stage 1, and now I'm going to start on stage 2. Nothing up my sleeve. These are just a little bit heavier pieces of charcoal pencils, so they'll make a thicker mark. I've got the gesture laid out of this already, and I'm just going to go and reinforce where I really want the lines to go and make decisions about, you got 4 or 5 lines here. I'm going to pick one and make that one the real line.
Can I just ask, up to this point, I've noticed you looking from left to right to left to right. Is that how you're doing it, rather than having a sort of central vision?
Well, I'll get to that after when we get to the later part of the thing, because there's a whole process about what this all means. So I've discovered this talent, and I'm making work with it. And I've done, this is probably the 5th one I've done. Just working this way. And I don't know what I think about these, to be honest with you. I don't know if I feel I could exhibit these or not, or if I did exhibit them, would I do them all as a show of just this and describing it as this. So the question comes up is like, why do I do it? Why would I keep on doing it? And the answer, it's not really a parlor trick, so I'm not really doing that for entertaining people, but the reason why I keep on making these, it's, if I'm standing here on both my feet, I'm not really thinking about anything, and I can do this without really thinking. And if I stand here on one leg, it's uncomfortable. I'm working to keep my balance, but I'm very, very aware of what I'm doing. And this is the same thing as far as drawing goes. It makes me much more aware of what I'm doing. The other thing is that there's also the possibility that it's integrating my right and my left brain a little better, which for an artist is very handy. Being able to make something with the more imaginative side of your brain, and then being able to describe it with the more analytical side of your brain is very helpful in the art world that we have and live in right now. So make sure. I had some notes here to make sure I'm getting everything. Blah, 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 blah. And now, we're on to the next thing.